brethren are already in the field. Why stand we here idle? What is it the gentlemen wish? What would they have? Is life so dear, or peace so sweet? Has to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God. I know not what cost others. As for me, give me liberty, or give me death.
I wanna know what you're thinking. There are some things you can't hide. I wanna know what you're feeling. Tell me what's on your mind.
Hey there, this is Cooper from Telepathic Bunny Comics. Welcome to the rabbit hole. Well, today's rabbit hole that we're going to go down, we're going to talk a little bit about a certain anomaly that has showed up in the Matrix, as it were. This gentleman has managed to break the system a little bit. He's managed to zig when others were zagging, and made it around the mainstream gatekeepers and straight out to the people. Now, theoretically, this is something that has always been possible, but it really hasn't happened on this scale before. Now, there's many theories as to why this has happened. I've heard conspiracy theories. What's up? Got the woke breaker over here. Hey. Hell. But there are conspiracy theories out there that this guy's an industry plant. Let me enumerate the reasons why that's probably not the case. Number one, this gentleman has lived out in the ass crack of Farmville, Virginia, for the last at least 5 years or something like that. He's well established in the community. He is there's people that were commenting on videos that I saw that actually had him come by their plant. He was evidently like doing some servicing. I'm not entirely sure what the industry was, but he'd visit from plant to plant, and people remember seeing him because he's a very distinctive looking individual. You know, he's about 6'6", tall, red bearded, you know, looks a little bit like a Viking. Yeah, you remember the guy. You remember the guy if you saw him. So if he's an industry plant, I don't know anybody in the industry that would be traipsing through the backwoods. Okay. Those people, they stay in LA, they stay in New York, and they think we're all a bunch of hillbillies and they don't want anything to do with us. Okay. You know, that's not going to happen. I just, you know, my personal belief, maybe I'm an idiot. I just don't believe that's going to happen. Another theory is that, this song was like artificially boosted in some way, shape, or form for reasons that people can't give, but they're like, oh, this, you know, the CIA is behind artificially boosting this song. But then the song being Rich Man North of Richmond. But the problem with that is the CIA, the only thing the CIA wants to do is divide and keep us divided. The CIA's entire purpose has become to keep America docile and fighting with one another so we don't pay attention to what's happening to us. That's their entire reasoning existence for right now. You know, using social media to do it for the most part. So a song that if you've watched the people who are reacting to it, they're across all social strata, they're across all racial divides, and they're across, they're urban, they're rural. There's people all across the world have reacted to this video, and they've all had the exact same reaction. Most of them had the same reaction to it. Hey, what's up, Tank Otter? What's up, man? But most of them have had the same reaction to it. That's a unifying feature of this song. There's something about it that resonates with people. And I believe that something is the fact that we're all tired of the government overtaxing us. We're all tired of watching people abuse the system. You know, when you're sitting there, you've got your cart, you know, under your arm, you know, or just the basket. You go with the basket because you can't fill up a cart. Nobody can afford a cart anymore. And so you get your little groceries, whatever you can stand to do for that week. And you take your basket to the cash register. And somebody just over there with a bunch of kids has a basket full of stuff. And it's all, a lot of it's junk food. And you know, and it they go out and they put that food into, and maybe they're a different like nationality, you know, just saying. But then they go out and they put their food into a like 5-year-old Nissan or Toyota SUV. It's always Toyota or Nissan SUVs. I'm not entirely sure why that is. They go with Honda sedans, but most of the SUVs are usually you know, Toyota or Nissan. But anyway, that sounds extraordinarily racist, but it happens, and we see it all the time where I'm at, we're in my community. So somebody like saying about, you know, we ought not be paying for, you know, if you're overweight, we shouldn't be paying for your fudge rounds. I mean, that's no big deal to people who watch people abusing EBT all the time. While, you know, you're doing the best you can, and you know, you work 40-hour weeks, and you know, well, me right now I'm doing 48, 6 days a week, third shift. So if I look exhausted, that's probably why. Anyway, so you know, the themes that he's communicating. Yeah, most of us hate the rich man north of Richmond, and every country has a rich man north of Richmond. Okay, some society, some is rich man in London, you know, or something like that, in England or somewhere, anywhere there's seat of power. It's a bunch of rich people who get in there and immediately start screwing over the small people and making themselves wealthy. And so we all feel that. And below a certain social strata, we all feel that. I mean, you see the little jackass Vosh, make a little snide remarks from his mansion about how this guy's got property, so he must be wealthy. It's like, motherfucker, you're a millionaire. What the hell? And it's not a millionaire that you made money. You were given this money. So shut the hell up, Anyway, sorry for the language. Anyway, but so most people below certain social strata feel it and feel his music, and so it's been successful. Successful on a level that we've rarely seen, because people are so starved for authenticity and for honesty. To see anybody be that open, blatant, and free and express themselves that way has been like in the hellscape that is music, popular music. It's been like a beacon in the darkness, to see somebody just absolutely cut through like that. So this gentleman has started like selling out venues and started, making big waves. And so he was on Joe Rogan the other day. Joe Rogan is always fascinated by people who are like making, are really impacting culture. And with over 1 million people watching him, he usually gets whoever he wants. And evidently he wanted to talk to Mr. Chris Lunsford, always known as Oliver Anthony. Had him sing at his club. Evidently, Joe Rogan has a very successful comedy club in Austin. Mainly it's because it's a comedy club that doesn't allow wokeness in the doors. So it's been very successful right now. But Oliver Anthony went there and evidently brought the house down, and he went and had a conversation with Joe Rogan. And during the course of that conversation, he was talking about how he didn't really identify with either side of the political divide. And the fact that people were like, wanting him to pick a side, and he really didn't have a side. He's pretty much politically neutral. And he's always said that. He said that before he was popular, before he's famous. If you watch that first video where he's greeting, he's greeting people that he thought might come to his channel because of the new videos that he was putting out. Little did he know, he was hoping for 300 in total. 300. He got a little more than that. I think he might have 300 million by now. I don't know. But this gentleman did not expect to be famous. He didn't expect this. Who could expect this? I mean, nobody in their right mind would have expected that this guy doing videos in his backwoods of Virginia was going to wind up changing the world or being on everybody's screens. Nobody has an expectation of being successful until it happens. Very few people do, at least. I mean, you hear stories all the time of these groups, like singing groups that were still like going from club to club to club in a van, and finding out that they had a #1 album that happened to Nirvana, of all people. Nirvana had no idea. I mean, they were going from club to club to club in the van, and didn't realize that Smells Like Teen Spirit had changed the world. And Kurt Cobain just didn't survive that. He just didn't. But this happens. This has happened before, and it will happen again. Sometimes somebody just strikes the note that rings the bell that like everybody is vibing to, and that person becomes like a cultural mouthpiece for a moment, And right now, that's this young man, 30-some-year-old man. I think he's 33. south of Richmond, in Farmville, Virginia. He's very open about where he lives. And so the thing about it is what surprises, it's been surprising to me, is I can see some jackass like Vosh, or some, these little rich boy socialists who never had to work a damn day in their life. And so they think everybody getting stuff handed to them is the way the world should work. Okay. Okay. Later, Tank. Drive safe, man. That's all right. Just me and the camera here. We're good. But I don't expect somebody like that to understand. I don't. But somebody like me, okay, that knows that, right now I'm on a 3-day weekend, but it's the first 3-day weekend first weekend I've had in a while. Hey, John, what's up, man? If you want to come on, I'll send you a link, dude. But I guess it's the first weekend I've had in a while, and most of the time I'm working my ass off. Okay, I mean, balls to the wall all the time. It has been that way since July the 4th. And so when we got back from vacation, it was like 6-day weeks, and you work third shift, only having one night of sleep, and I'm dealing with sleep apnea right now. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. I stay exhausted. Okay. I stay mentally and physically exhausted almost all the time. Even when I do get some sleep, it seems like I want to nap all the time, but I never really get deep sleep because of the apnea. At work, unfortunately, dropping a like and a comment while working. All right, thank you, man. Appreciate it. But the thing about it is, though, is you would think somebody like us would vibe to what's happening right now, would be rooting for the guy. I mean, somebody from the working class like us, somebody getting taxed to death, somebody feeling the pinch of the growing grocery bills, the raising inflation, the gas prices going through the roof. You think somebody from our social strata, that's struggling like everybody else is struggling below a certain level, and you think we would understand, or we would be like rooting for this guy to succeed. And yet, I was watching a stream today. It was a stream that I watch most Saturdays. I love these guys. I've been on the show, and I enjoy, most of the time I enjoy, the banter and everything. And these guys just started cutting into him, calling him a political stooge and some other stuff like that. And if you watch the videos of him, you see him talking about how he doesn't identify with either side. He doesn't like vibe with either, the liberal or conservative. He's like right there in the middle, which is most of America, to be honest. Most of America doesn't vibe with the hyper conservatives, and they don't vibe with the foaming at the mouth nutcase liberals. Most of us are politically right there in the middle. And so that's probably why he was able to write a song that appeals to most of society, and some conservatives gotten upset that he hasn't planted his flag. I saw Matt Walsh make a video talking about, well, the conservatives are the reason why people have heard of you. Maybe you should pick a side. Which I disagree with that guy a lot, and I definitely disagreed on that. He doesn't have. That's the problem. Everybody's picking up sides, right? Everybody's picking up sides, and a lot of that's because the left forces people to pick sides, or they'll cancel the shit out of you if you don't. But those of us that are in the reasonable are reasonable. We don't give a crap what your side is. You're a human being, and that doesn't matter. But they're calling him political stooge. They were saying that that, oh, he's on Joe Rogan, he's making millions of dollars, blah blah blah. You'd be an idiot to believe that that guy is speaking for the working man. And that got all over me. It struck me wrong in a way that very few things strike me wrong. I was foaming at the mouth, man, and I was in the chat, and I was just about to light into him, because I mentioned that he turned down an $8 million contract. He did. He turned down an $8 million contract. He said that in multiple places. And they once again said that I was an idiot for believing that he was turning down an $8 million contract. And it made me mad because, it made me mad enough to leave the stream, because I was like, anything I say right now, it's just going to be, I just didn't want to hear it anymore. I just didn't want to hear it. And so I clicked off the stream. And, one of them's that's what he does. He stirs up shit. He's a shit stirrer. And he always says ignorant things just to make people mad. It pleases some part of his soul to make people mad. And I get it. That's his thing, Besides, it's all right. He'll be mad at me, but he gets mad at me every other month anyway. So we'll just call this September's reason to be mad at Cooper. But the thing about it is, though, it's the cynicism. I think that's what bothered me, was the cynicism, is the inability to believe that somebody is who they say they are. And I think the reason why Chris Lunsford, whatever you want to call him, he says, I've been called worse. Just call me whatever you want to. So I'm going to call him Oliver Anthony, because that's what most people know him by. But the reason why he has struck a chord, and it's because every time you see him, even at times when he's like he's just at a concert or something like that, he'll read a Bible verse, or he'll pull up or say something, self-deprecating, and you just know that this guy, he just doesn't take himself seriously. He talks about how he's not that good of a guitar player, but then you hear him do such beautiful finger work, and makes a beautiful choices with the music, if you hear, like, it's in between the verses, but there's several times in Richmond, north of Richmond, that he does these beautiful counter medleys with his finger picking that it's just gave me goosebumps when I first heard it, and still do. And so he doesn't take himself seriously, and that voice, man, the voice is just earnest, honest, and very powerful voice, and it's just full of conviction. When you hear a voice like that, you don't forget it. And it's like the talent that made him, that put him on the screens of so many people to react to, and that brought people to tears. I've seen people brought to tears by, especially that song, I Want to Go Home, because, we all feel that, you got to feel that, especially if you're working class. We all just like, Jesus, Lord, come quickly. Just come back and take us out of this place. And that's what he meant. He didn't mean suicide. He meant, Lord, take me home. I'm tired of this place is changing. I can't recognize it anymore. I can't come down. I can't come home on the earth. So I want to come home in heaven. That's what that song means. And anybody that feels that way knows what it means. That resonates with you. But the thing about it is, though, is the kind of cynicism that I saw this morning, that, oh, this guy's a plant. You're an idiot if you believe this guy is who he says he is, or anything he says that comes out of his mouth. You know what? I choose to be an idiot. I choose to believe that this guy is exactly who he says he is. I choose to believe that this story, that his success is organic. I choose to believe that the guy sitting there in his truck looking straight at the camera, just amused by everything that's happening, amused that he got played at the Republican debate to presidential candidate debate, and he's like, I'm writing that song about those guys, and they had to sit there and listen to it. It's hilarious. I choose to believe that what he tells me is true. I choose to believe that this guy is the real deal. If that makes me an idiot, then I choose to be an idiot. Okay. Because I'm tired of the cynicism, guys. I'm tired of the CIA running bullshit on everybody all the time so much that we don't trust anybody anymore. We don't trust each other. We don't trust what we see with our eyes because, the Zuckerbergs of the world and Elon Musk or whatever, the whoever the guy is that's over YouTube anymore. I don't know what his name is. I knew I could say Susan Witwicky. I don't know what her freaking name is, but whoever's over YouTube right now, I mean, yeah, they're manipulating every damn thing, and they're taking orders from the government, and we know the shit's going on. It's like he's like he said in that song. They think we don't know, but I know that you do. We know they're screwing with us. We know all this stuff. But I just choose to believe this guy is who he says he is. I choose that when he looks at me and says that this is who I am, take it or leave it. I take it. Okay. I saw him on Joe Rogan. Okay. And Joe Rogan, the reason why Joe Rogan's the biggest podcaster in the world is Joe Rogan. He's everywhere he goes. He's the same guy. And whether you like that or not, you have to admit that he has these honest conversations and nobody gets out free. I mean, if he disagrees with you, he tells you he disagrees with you and he calls you on it. But he and Chris got along well. He got along with Chris probably better than anybody I've seen in a long time because he saw in Chris the genuine article. And he wanted to talk to that guy. He wanted to find out who that was. And so he had him on. He had the power to do that. And to call that a reason why we can't trust Chris as being who he says he is, it's astronomically stupid to me. Okay. I mean, so the guy got successful. He didn't expect to get successful. He did not expect this to happen. Who could expect this to happen? Nobody could expect what happened to him to happen. Nobody. It came out of nowhere. This guy went from just singing his heart out to a brand new mic and a brand new camera setup in the backwoods to being known on every screen worldwide. Being on newscasts to being referenced in the national convention, the Republican presidential debate. They played his song. Okay, he went from that to that, and it's 5 weeks ago, guys. And yeah, he got on Joe Rogan because Joe Rogan wants him on, and then, or are you going to turn that down? You going to turn that down? The fact he didn't turn that down means he's not genuine. You know what? I mean, I choose to believe that he is who he says he is. I choose to not be cynical about this. Yeah. Okay. He came out of nowhere. Yeah. Okay. He blew up overnight. Yeah. Okay. He went from singing his heart out in the backwoods to being on the biggest podcast on the planet. Yeah. That happened. But things like that are possible without intervention, without somebody pulling strings behind the scenes. You know who made it possible? We made it possible. You, me, all the few people that may watch this video, we made it possible. Why? Because we don't like the pablum they're feeding us on the radio right now. We don't like the news reports that we know are curated, and we believe, okay, that this happened. Okay, we believe that it happened. Yes, EG, I know he doesn't claim conservatism. Yes, I know he's a centrist. I am well aware. Thank you. Anyway. All right. Hey, Jason. So other people were telling you something about themselves, not him. Pretty much. All right, let me highlight these. Yes, I'm aware. Yes, I know. Because he's an example of something bigger that's happening, EG. I'm sorry, but he is. And what's happening is people are rejecting artifice. They're rejecting the canned. They're rejecting the calculated. They're rejecting these things in massive numbers right now. People are rejecting the mind control. They're rejecting the screwed up things that are happening in our mass media. They're rejecting it. Okay. They're rejecting Sam Smith coming on to the Grammys in a devil costume, dancing around and singing some whatever song that was. Okay. And on national television, you know, a few years ago, people were upset about what's her name? What is her chick? Hannah Montana, you know, whatever name. Miley Cyrus doing a twerk up against somebody. Okay. People are upset about that. Okay. Well, if it upset you, then how about ta-da? You know, we're just like 5 years on, and that happened at the Grammys. You know, people know that things are accelerating. All right. I'm done with you, man. I'm done with you. I'm just going to talk to the screen here. Anyway, so basically what's going on? What's going on right now is people are looking for something real. They're looking for something real. They're looking for something that doesn't have a political agenda behind it. Okay. That's neither conservative nor liberal. People are tired of it. They're tired of having everything programmed, everything aimed at them, one way or another, one side or the other. Okay. And the Ben Shapiros of the world are just as bad as the Young Turks. And we're all tired of it. Whatever. Anyway. So the bottom line, though, I think is I believe in this guy. I believe that what's happening is organic. I think what happened with the Sound of Freedom happened organically. I believe it did upset Indiana Jones 5 on the 4th of July weekend because of the groundswell. I believe that the biggest beer producer, or at least the biggest selling beer in the United States, was rejected by the general public because they didn't like the messaging. And I think Disney right now, the biggest, entertainment conglomerate in the world, is seeing empty parks and poorly attended movies because people are tired of them shoving agenda. And so the bottom line is, I think there's a groundswell coming. I think that this guy is just part of it. And I really think that what's going to happen, the change that's happening, I think is accelerating. I think it's going to happen pretty quick. And I think it's right around the corner. I expect I expect there's going to be a big backlash that is building right now. And I'm ready for it. I am ready for it. At the end of the day, I really hope that people will start to unite, start to find common ground. You know, I got a guy in my chat right now who's ragging me, who's left some pretty disparaging comments on videos I was a part of. You know, I covered a rant that he did the other day, and so he's attacking me, and that's fine. He's perfectly right to do that if he wants to. Yeah, if you want to know, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it up. You can check on the live chat. But the bottom line, at the end of the day, what I believe is we've got more in common than these little petty divisions between us. And what I saw with Oliver Anthony is I saw people on both sides that are tired of everything. What's up? What's up there, Aaron? What's up, dude? Hey, man. Do me a favor. If you're a mod, it is what it is. But so at the end of the day, I really think that what we're seeing, that he's something that's happening to this culture. And if you people want to be cynical about it, want to believe it's a plant, want to believe he's part of the CIA, apparatus, then it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. And but I don't know. The kind of cynicism that I'm seeing in the culture right now, it's really, really bothers me, because the only way we're going to get past the only way we're going to move forward as a culture, is if we find things that we have in common. And something like this is something that we found in common. And I really I really hope people don't reject it before it has a chance to play out. And there's not an attack on anybody. But as for me, I choose to believe it. And I hope other people do too. The catch-22 of success is the more success you get, the more people criticize you for being successful. And all this guy did, he just wrote it out. And, managed to make it on Joe Rogan. But that doesn't mean he's not genuine. It just means that this thing happened to him and he's on the ride. So I don't know what people expected him to do, but I hope he keeps it going. I really do. Anyway, I will let him talk until it causes a problem. Okay. All right. It is what it is. But thank you guys for coming. Thank you for anybody that clicks on this video. And I hope that it it's fine, Aaron. It's fine. I was pretty tired of it. So it is what it is. But I think we need to find. I think when things like this happen in the culture right now, we need to, if it's something uniting, we need to emphasize it and reach across the aisle, reach across the divide, find things in common. And hold on a second. Oh, really? No problem. I DM'd Bunny a few years ago. Dealt with this guy before. I've dealt with him before too. And he's attacked me on another video that I did. And I kind of like reacted to a rant that he did the other day. I guess that's why I got his attention. But it is what it is. Anyway, so um I'm just kind of like going in circles here, so I'll go ahead and end this video. I do these live. I do these off the cuff. I do these things, without scripting first, and so if you, I hope you anybody checking out this video. I am mostly a comic guy. I'm an independent comic creator. I've got a current comic called Community Service on a website called Fund My Comic, and the link is below. The trailer is the one you saw at the beginning. I hope you check it out. Anyway, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for checking out the channel. I'm up to 392 subs. I'm hoping to get 400 before too much longer. I promise that if I do get 400, that I have to eat sushi on on the stream sometime. So I guess I just probably started looking around for sushi. I got 8 more subs to go. So anyway, it is what it is. If you want to see me eat sushi, 8 of you need to just click like and subscribe. So anyway, it's been all over today, but I don't mean any harm to anybody. I don't mean any harm to these guys that I disagreed with on the stream. I love those guys. I'll probably check out their video, check them out again. I just, caught me wrong today. I just wanted to address it. So anyway, enjoy your Saturday night. This has been Cooper from Telepathic Bunny Comics, and remember, follow the white rabbit. I'll see y'all next time. Bye there.